sent text messages to the then chairman of the Republican National Committee in September of 2020. They read, quote, Pirro openly boasted about her efforts for President Trump, texting RNC Chair Ronna McDaniel, quote, I work so hard for the party across the country. I'm the #1 watched show on all news cable all weekend. I work so hard for the president and party, end quote. Another anchor noted how beneficial it would be to promote Donald Trump's unfounded claims of election fraud. Quote, on December 5th, 2020, Jesse Waters texted Greg Gutfeld, think about how incredible our ratings would be if Fox went all in on all caps, stop the steal. Court filings even showed dissent among the Fox hosts over the truth. On November 5th, 2020, Fox executive Jay Wallace was made aware by Bret Baier via text that Maria Bartiromo tweeted false claims about vote dumps in favor of Joe Biden. Bret Baier told this executive, Wallace, quote, none of that is true as far as we can tell. We need to fact check this crap, end quote. We're back with Mark, Mary, and Michelle. Mary, your thoughts on what we're seeing? And it's incredible to read what they said to each other privately. It's almost worse / as bad as the stuff they say on the air.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I didn't particularly enjoy that little trip down memory lane, right? Replaying those clips, because, I mean, what a low point, right? We have people who purport to be journalists who are just, blatantly lying to the American people. To hear Rudy Giuliani again lying about what he knew could not be proven. And we have more than 65 courts that threw the, baseless election fraud cases out of courts. Judges appointed by Republicans, Democrats, and Trump himself. And now to see that the Fox News anchors were, pretty much well aware, but for all of their different motivations. And I want to come back to Jeanine Pirro, because she is now the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, the chief prosecutor in the District of Columbia, to see all of them with their different motivations, their different interests, personal and familial interests, trying to just suck up to Donald Trump and just lie about it is, obviously this is going to be very important to Smartmatic's case, but it should be important to all of us. And I want to come back to Jeanine Pirro, because this is somebody who, if you credit what these new communications reveal, it looks very much like one of the main reason she was doing this was to try to be able to seek a pardon for her husband from Donald Trump, a pardon that he eventually did provide at the very end of his administration. And that looks very much like some type of a quid pro quo. Now, nothing we're seeing in there would support an outright bribery charge, because that has to be very knowing and explicit. But it certainly seems like that is what her intent was. And to think that she is now the person making prosecutorial decisions in the District of Columbia is pretty frightening, and she should have never been confirmed.
Let me read that part of the court filing. This is from the court filing.